What is going on, everybody? It is episode 461 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I am here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. We're back from the weekend. How was yours, Brett?
It was fantastic.
You're wearing one of your single-use T-shirts.
No.
Today,
This is a multi-use T-shirt. This is not
This isn't one of those that you throw away.
No. And I'll tell you why. Because the ones that I throw away, the ones that I wear skating that I throw away.
There's a system.
There is. They're thinner. So
like
they're like you'd be able to see through, and I'm charging extra
like
for
tissue
that.
paper.
Yeah. No, in a lot of ways, it's thinner so that when you sweat through it, like you can just throw it away when you're done. Also, the fabric isn't as thick, so that way you're not overheating while skating. Yeah, I would charge extra if I was going to wear the ones they could see through. This episode would cost more money if I was going to do that.
Guys, send Superchats to fund Brett's T-shirt addiction.
It's been a while because I've been injured, so I haven't been skating. So we're being kind of over the top. I have started washing them and reusing them. The white T-shirts from Target, the Fruit of the Loom ones, because the Hanes ones are ass. The Hanes ones are garbage. You don't want those. They're horrible.
T-shirt review.
Yeah, no, I could do that. First of all, the Fruit of the Loom ones are always longer. They fit better. So, yeah. Guys, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. So, Lil Tay, if you remember last time on Lil Tay television, there was a death hoax in which people thought she had died. It was then revealed that she had not died, and it was all wrapped together with a weird crypto scam. Well, Lil Tay is back for real this time, and we are going to talk about her accusations against her father. Also, she has a new music video out, so timing could be what you call just a tad suspicious. So we'll get into all of that. We're going to discuss it. We are also going to talk about whether or not, ladies and gentlemen, you the audience, you the viewer, do you consider it justified if you cap a YouTuber who is pranking you, bro? It's just a prank, bro. A YouTuber was shot last year, and we talked about it. His name's Tanner Cook. He's a prank YouTuber. Well, the gentleman who shot him was acquitted of the crime.
This happened not too far away from us.
Nope, we could have heard it from here. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a woman who is suing Disney for an atomic wedgie. You heard that correctly, ladies and gentlemen. If it sounds ridiculous,
she's getting so slandered by the media.
Oh yeah. The media is making a joke out of it. So we're going to talk about that. Well, if you want the fast cash, man, you're going to have to take the slander. That's what it is. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about the culture of TikTok call-outs because a video went viral over the weekend. It was over the weekend. I think I saw it on Friday when I originally saw this video, where a stripper outs this woman who is being...
Because in 2023, strippers have the moral high ground, if you didn't hear.
Yes.
If you didn't get the memo.
She outs a woman who is getting... serviced by a gentleman at a strip club.
I assume that the man himself was not another stripper.
No.
He was just there.
Yeah, so she was being
She went home with this guy.
And this stripper calls her out.
On the night of her bachelorette party.
Yeah.
The stripper was mad that she didn't get tipped. So she called her out.
You got to tip better. That's the real problem. So we're going to talk about that. We got a bunch of other stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun here today. It's going to be kind of a lonely week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're in a ghost town this week because everyone's in Miami
We don't get to go. We have to sit here.
Yeah, we're stuck in the attic. They locked us in here.
We really should put like a sliding eye door on the door to
whatever those
room.
Things are called. And we'll come up with a password.
That'd be so good. What would the password be? If you could have like a password, what would it be? Taylor Swift.
Let's go, Brandon.
No, man, that's so boomer. That's so boomer. I don't know. Well, we got a bunch of stuff to get into, guys. So would you please, before we get started, would you hit the like button on this video? Would you subscribe to this channel? If you have not subscribed already, thank you so much for that. Hit the notification bell, please, so that you can be notified anytime a segment goes live or we go live with an episode. Also, remember, please, that we need more people coming, so would you please share these videos with your friends so that more people will come in here and hang out. And remember, all Super Chats, $20 and over. We will interrupt the discussion. We will read them right then and there. We'll talk about what you got to say.
By the way, we are almost at 10K on Instagram, so if you haven't followed us there yet, you should go follow us. It's Pop Culture Crisis Pod. And then when we get to 10K, we're going to have a pizza party.
Perfect. I can't wait. Wait, King's or Papa John's?
It's all the same to me.
No, they're not the same. Those are vastly different pizzas. Holy crap. That's some slander. Dave Portnoy would be ashamed.
If we get to 10K today, it'll be Kings then.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if that happens. I'll keep my eyes on it right there. We got a big one right there from That's Dance-tastic. Do you want to read that one, please?
Hello. He said, let's get this week started with a crisis party, and also, Borak's so good. I would like to hear opinions on guys... Wait, what?
Oh.
What does it say? On Cher's take on who won the debate. What debate? I don't know any debate that happened. Since you
are
home alone, you should set traps like the Christmas classic Home Alone. Do you mean like the GOP debate, or
I feel like
some other debate that I wasn't caught up on?
I'm setting off the crisis meter because it looks like it didn't register almost because he was... Oh, there it is right there. There it is. All right, now we're good. I'm assuming he means the
next time, can you wait until the money goes off?
Yes.
For me to read the super chat? Because I need it to be here.
Okay. But yeah, like if you...
Well, is it going to go off?
Yeah, it will. It will. It's timed. But I just wanted to make sure it responded. Like, do you think... if he means GOP debate, nobody won the debate. Donald Trump won the debate. There it is! There it is! All right. Who won the debate? It's party time.
That whole thing was embarrassing to watch, and that is related to our cringe of the day today.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We got cringe of the day. Thank you so much for that. That's Danzatastic. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. I know I love the the PTZ shot is perfect for that, though. That's what it's for. All right, let's go ahead and get started then. We got some serious stuff to discuss right off the bat. Russell Brand is facing yet another police investigation in the UK. This time from the Thames Valley Police. And this is they were contacted by a woman 2 weeks ago with new information in regards to reports of harassment and stalking. So not related to the initial charges.
It's either a separate accuser or one of the accusers we already heard from that has more allegations.
Yeah.
I guess that he stalked and harassed her after whatever encounter they had.
Well, who is it that there was a story about recently? Okay, this is totally not related to pop culture, but there was like a story over the weekend about a woman who was she was a teacher and she slept with a student and got arrested, and then was out on bail and was like allowed to they're like, you can't be in contact with any minors except for your own kids, which I thought was, I don't know, whatever. But the point is, like, apparently she contacted the kid who she was accused of doing stuff with and said, you're going to regret going through with this, under like another number. And so it's, that's the type of harassment they could be talking about here. Is Russell Brand sending anonymous texts to random people?
Since he's British, he sends an XX at the end.
I don't think he's doing that. There's a $20 one there from Shane H. Wilder.
Thank you. He said, happy Feast of Guardian Angels, Pro-Life Month, and Month of the Rosary. Now for me to return to my regularly scheduled stupidity. Speaking of which, did Brett leave the boy band to join the Plain White Tees?
Wait, I guess they're not a boy band, right?
Would they dispute that claim?
I don't think the Plain White Tees would qualify as a boy band, and I don't know the words to Hey Delilah.
Okay.
So
you can keep telling us that. We don't believe.
I don't know. I know the words to a Metro Station song.
I did find out which member of NSYNC my aunt was dating, by the way. It was JC.
Oh, that is
Josh.
Yes, JC. It's so funny because I told Mary a long time ago. First of all, my only recollection that he's a real person, other than the fact that I grew up in the age of boy bands, was that he made a random guest appearance on an episode of a show called Las Vegas that nobody liked but me. And he does like a thing. They would do a thing, and they were like, it's so funny because the show gets dated so heavily because they would have all these musical acts that were popular in like the early 2000s, like the Pussycat Dolls show up in several episodes. And who else? And so the Pussycat Dolls showed up. They played like an Everlast song, and anybody my age in the chat is groaning right now. I can just don't worry about it. You're better off not knowing. But the point is that he shows up in an episode where he sings to one of the characters in the show. and it's not an NSYNC song. It's like his own song that was never released, and it somehow ended up on YouTube. But yes, funny stuff.
But speaking of Metro Station, I did just want to brag about the fact that I'm watching a 3-hour-long YouTube documentary about the rise and fall of Metro Station.
Do you want to tell people in the chat who might not know who the hell Metro Station is?
They of course know who Metro Station is.
Chat, does anybody here in the chat know who the hell Metro Station is?
Do you guys seriously not know who Metro Station is?
Chat, do you know who
everyone has heard of Metro Station.
Chat, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and correct her.
It was a neon pop punk, like radio popular band in the late 2000s, started by Miley Cyrus's brother Trace Cyrus, and then her co-star Mitchell Musso's brother Mason Musso, I believe.
Okay, we got a couple. Okay, so we've got who?
How has someone never heard of Shake It by Metro Station?
No, nope. Shake It, somebody says. No clue. No, nope. I do not. Yeah.
And you guys think we're not
up on pop culture?
Cultured?
Yeah. Some people. It might be one of those things where they know the song, but not the artist.
Yeah, but I mean, if you don't know who Metro Station is, you definitely know the song.
Melissa Lynn says, I was just singing 17 Forever in my kitchen 10 minutes ago. See, I only knew the song after the fall. That was the only one I knew. All right,
17
guys.
Forever was a classic of that era.
All right, guys, here's an interesting story. The director of Saw, which released this weekend to the biggest, I believe the biggest franchise opening of the entire franchise, and it's in its 10th year or something like that, or longer.
That's nuts. Did I tell you about the time when someone like mailed me a Saw mask when I was 13 and there was no marking on the box, there was no packaging, it was just that? Isn't that weird?
That's a story. That's as weird as your dad getting like a note with nothing on it, like at a mental institution.
Wait, did I tell that story on air?
Guys, did she? I don't know if she told that story on air, but
it's gonna sound really weird if you just pass by it.
So go ahead and tell everyone what happened.
My dad was visiting a women's prison for his job. They were doing a legislative study, and this female inmate,
because her dad's a government shill.
Because he was in the government at the time. And this inmate comes up to him and hands him a note and says, you need to know what's really going on in here. And then he's like looking around, and then she said, like, just put that in your pocket. Just open that when you leave. And then when he left and got in his car, he like unfolded the note, and it was just a blank piece of paper.
And to this day, he's wondering, what the hell was that about?
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
So shout out to that inmate. You kind of like are in our heads rent free now.
Well,
20 years later.
Yeah. So when it comes to the director of Saw said that they were editing the film at a private residence, and the cops showed up because the sound of of what was going on screen was so loud that the neighbors thought that someone was being tortured at the house.
You know, I'm honestly surprised that they called the cops, because these days, you know, you'll hear someone screaming for help next door, and you're like, so anyway, my try-on haul.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like nobody seems to care. It's everyone.
It's a sign of societal trust.
Well, you know what it is nobody wants to be dared call a Karen.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, so what if a couple of people have to die at the house across the street from me? At least I'm not being labeled as nosy.
Right.
That's what it is. Guys, I saw people asking if I went and saw over the weekend. I did not. I went and saw The Creator, and I posted a review of it. It went up at like 2 today, so it might get lost in the algorithm, unfortunately. But I want to encourage everyone to go watch this movie. Gareth Edwards does an unbelievable amount with very, very little. So this movie cost $80 million to make, and it looks like it cost $250 to $300 million. It's beautifully shot. The story has a couple of derivative elements, but it's beautifully acted by John David Washington.
It's about dystopian AI. Like, of course, it's a little bit derivative.
If I had to compare, I would say it's like Dune meets Cyberpunk in its visual aesthetic. And the young girl who plays the child that he's essentially...
Well, don't give me any spoilers, because I was planning on watching it.
She's so good. She's so good in this movie, and he is so good with her in this movie. And it's beautifully done. And I really do want to say, like, look, if we're at this point now where, look, I understand that a lot of you believe that we need to just give up on Hollywood, fine. I understand that. That's not really plausible with our job. Like, I'm still going to be going to see movies. I'm still going to review movies, and I'm going to be as impartial as I possibly can be when reviewing them. And if I had to choose between what I want to see, and if it's the 10,000th ugly Marvel movie made on twice the budget of this movie with none of the creativity, I'm choosing this movie every time. And the only way we can get more original movies made is to actually go see the ones that are good. And in my opinion, this is one of the best movies that I saw all year. And it gets a lot of points for the fact that it's an original story. Gareth Edwards is fantastic. A lot of people would say he's the only person to direct a halfway decent Star Wars, sequel trilogy, which is he did Rogue One. I really encourage everyone to go out and check out this film. If you want to see better movies get made, we have to go out and actually support the ones that are good. So it's
getting a bad score on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah, and
in comparison to Blue Beetle, which was a garbage heap, it sounds like, in comparison. So
no, and they're saying Sail the High Seas. I don't want to see this movie on a TV screen. It
seems like what should be watched in theaters.
Here's the other thing. It was filmed with he did not use green screen or blue screen. He went to actual physical locations to film this movie. Like I said, $80 million budget. He did it on a Sony FX3, which is like for cinema, for people who actually work in the industry, that's an entry level cinema cam. And he did an unbelievable amount with a little. And that's something that I think should be rewarded. I would like people to go and check it out. I think it was really, really good. So just for me. And Rotten Tomatoes is on something for those scores if they're saying that Blue Beetle is better than that movie.
I don't take orders from Rotten Tomatoes anyway.
Exactly.
So who cares?
I will be interested to see for you to see it and tell me what you think of it. Somebody's pointing out better than Gregory Peck. Yes, better than Gregory Peck. Walter Peck. All right, guys, let's move on, shall we? So Britney Spears calls out. She's hashtag defund the police.
Britney Spears has denounced the police because they keep doing welfare checks on her. She's going to lead the movement to defund the police over this because her fans keep calling them on her. She posted to Instagram, "Is it a joke in the news again with welfare checks? A lot of this doesn't make sense. Come on, America. We're cooler than that, right? The officers came to my home and said they would not leave until they spoke to me as people do 4-minute performances with them. I'm getting an apology. I've been bullied in my home for so long now. It's enough. Don't talk about it. Come on, let's do, as my mom does, the silent treatment when Paps asks questions about her own daughter as if I'm in the wrong. Nope, it's an old game. People need to be responsible for their actions. It's about power for cops."
Now, here's the thing. You know what she needs? She needs the cops who went and investigated what was going on with the Saw story. Because when this happened, they basically said, he said to them, he goes, "Oh, we're making a movie. Do you want to see?" And the cops go, "Nah, it's fine." So literally, this could be one of those things where he was actually offing someone in the other room and just called the cops.
They just
bluff.
believed him?
Yeah, they just basically said, no, it's fine. He says,
imagine getting a sneak peek of Saw, though.
Yeah, he says, there was a knock at the door. We have a doorbell camera. And he says, "I'm working on a movie. You can come and see it if you want." The police declined, just wanting to make sure that everything was okay.
Okay.
The cops are just like that's one of those things like where you find out years later, like the serial killer gets pulled over with like a body in the trunk and the cop just lets him go. This guy could have actually had a body in the room. And
no, I got pulled over one time because I had expired tags, and the cop was like, "Do you have any drugs in your vehicle?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Any dead bodies?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he just was like laughing it off, and he was like, "All right, you have a good night, ma'am."
Until he finds out years later that you did.
I didn't, for the record.
Yeah.
But I thought, let's test the boundaries of this cop's sense of humor.
How much of that stuffed shirt is actually stuffed? Yeah. All right. Also, guys, if you were wondering about the power of celebrity influence, the prop shop where Britney Spears allegedly got her, I say allegedly there because I'm being petty, allegedly bought her prop knives, was saved from going out of business by all of the extra sales they've gotten from her.
Britney Spears is the Dave Portnoy of prop
knives
sales, I guess. She's going to start doing one slice reviews.
Yes. She's just like,
see what I did there?
And she's just like,
this is a really good knife.
How to monetize your mental illness. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, guys. It's bad.
Never mind.
It's not good. And speaking of celebrities that will sell things out right away, Taylor Swift. They were wondering when we get to
her hair
this.
is looking kind of crazy in this picture.
Yeah, a little bit.
But I didn't notice that these denim shorts. Okay, these denim shorts she was wearing at one of Travis Kelce's games.
The most
they
recent.
sold out instantly, and they were like $600, but they were 50% off.
Yeah.
So
they were like over $1,000 if they weren't on sale. So imagine if she had worn them on a day when they weren't having a sale. This company would be rolling in the dough even more so.
They're kicking themselves right now. But I didn't realize that they weren't just like normal denim shorts. I think that the spikes on them are cool.
That does not make them worth $600.
It does not.
And it definitely does not make them worth $1,000.
No.
I only bring this up because I had several people who, again, I don't like. I mean, I got normies in my Instagram stories, but this was shared by like social media people on the right.
Why?
Women that were sharing this about the shorts, and I'm like, why is it that interesting? But apparently they had to have them.
They were buying them.
Yes, or at least they were sharing the link to where you could get them. I'm assuming because somebody asked them.
I'm buying $600 shorts in this economy.
In this economy? Like, are you kidding me?
I don't think so. Bidenomics.
Bidenomics being what they are. I don't know.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Also, Donald Trump shared his take on the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce romance. He said in an interview with the Daily Caller, "I wish the best for both of them. I hope they enjoy their life. Maybe together, maybe not. Most likely not."
Most likely not. That's the best part.
That's amazing.
Right? That's.
I love it. I need his era of like commenting on celebrity relationships to come back, because his tweets about Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson were just the best, like comedy gold. He was like, "Listen, Robert, you're better than this. She treats you like garbage, like a dog."
I wonder if he has hot takes on like YouTubers.
I don't know. I mean, he was on the
Personally,
Nelk Boys.
I like KSI. I like KSI a lot. Like, what? Like, does he have like?
He was on the Nelk Boys podcast, right?
Yeah, that episode got taken down.
It did?
I think they pulled it.
YouTube did?
I think they pulled it. Because it was like when. It was like when he was still kind of persona non grata.
Wow, they're cowards for that.
I could be wrong about that. I thought they pulled it.
If true.
I could be wrong about that.
Also, there's trouble in paradise because it says Melania Trump quietly renegotiated her prenup with Donald ahead of his potential run in 2024.
No, they say second presidential term. I'm kind of impressed that they even like.
That they worded it that way?
Yeah, I'm surprised they would even like speak it into existence like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Maybe they're trying to.
Yeah. Maybe Page 6 just secretly wants him in office. I like that.
But I really hope that they don't get divorced.
Says Melania is most concerned about maintaining increasing a substantial trust for their son Barron, who is like 9,000 feet tall now. I'm adding that part.
And 17 years old.
The agreement provides for Melania and spans money and property according to the source. Yeah. Hopefully there's no trouble in paradise.
Yeah, I've noticed like a few videos where, you know, they're walking along together and he tries to hold her hand and she like pulls it away. But I don't know. Who knows? Everyone has bad days.
Oh, is that what it is? She's not supporting her man right that day. In public, you gotta do that. You gotta make the sacrifice in public. It's bad.
All about the performance.
It's bad
all
optics.
About image.
Yeah, because like a lot of people are like, well, then they'd be faking it. I'm like, yes, I want them to be able to fake it in person.
Of course.
Because it proves that they can do their job. Because your job as a politician is to be unbelievably fake.
And most of all, I just don't want to lose her as a first lady. I want her back as the first lady more than I want.
Has there ever been chat? Has there ever been like a single president? I don't think so.
Let me look that up. I don't think so.
Or maybe like she leaves him right before he takes office and he becomes the.
Tim Scott is famously single.
Maybe what they'll end up doing is like they'll do the Bachelor Oval Office where Donald Trump is the Bachelor and the president at the same time.
James Buchanan was the only unmarried president and he stayed single his whole life.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they could like, they'll do, you know that they have a thing now called the Golden Bachelor where it's like old people.
What?
Yeah, Golden Bachelor. Now what they'll have
What is that about?
the Orange Bachelor, and it's Donald Trump as the president, the presidential bachelor, and he'll be president and a bachelor.
Is a Golden Bachelor just somebody who's never married?
No, they're just older. It's I didn't watch it, but like it's just older men and women.
Okay.
But it'll be the presidential bachelor, and he'll be both president and.
I'm sure there hasn't been a divorcee president.
Oh, I don't know.
I bet.
The agreement was necessary because of the current legal battles. I'm sure that plays a big part of it. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see where it goes. I like articles like this because they remind me of what Donald Trump was before he became like a political figure, which was just a funny part of pop culture and in our social fabric here in America.
Oh, okay. I was mistaken again. Ronald Reagan was divorced from his first wife.
Okay. Figures, Hollywood celebrity.
Okay. But he was the only one, I think.
There you go. Another reason for Serge to hate him.
And 2 widower presidents, but it's only because they're old.
Yeah. All right, guys. Oh, and speaking of Donald Trump, we've got this absolute
masterpiece.
I sent this to Mary over the weekend, knowing she would see it and it would make her day. So let's watch here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Donald Del Rey is the best Del Rey.
He is.
Here we go.
I got my red dress on tonight, dancing in the dark in the pale moonlight. Summer hair with real big
Who made
beauty
this?
queen style. High heels off, I'm sailing the arms. Oh my God, I'm sailing in the air, telephone wires above. Oh, sizzling like a snare, honey, I'm sad. I'm sailing everywhere, nothing scares me anymore. Kiss me hard before you go.
This makes me so happy.
Summertime sadness.
Does Donald Trump know who Lana is?
I don't know. He would need a briefing. I think.
wonder.
No, he might know.
The baby you the dust.
The dust.
I got that summertime sadness. Summertime sadness. Got that summertime sadness.
His eyes are kind of nuts.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like dead, rotting Robert Patrick from the Terminator.
He definitely has his hair done up real big, beauty queen style.
Yes. And somebody says this is what AI is for. Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you, Ellen. Ellen G says, yeah, this is what it's for, and she's right. Absolutely.
I'm really grateful this exists.
I've seen a couple of different ones over the weekend of different songs.
There's another video out there in Melania's camera roll where it's Trump and Barron sitting in the car with the top down, in the dark, the flash on, and Summertime Sadness Remix is playing on the radio. They're like kind of bopping their heads to it. I'm sure it's out there.
There was also some amazing. I didn't even think. Maybe I'll pull it up for tomorrow. Somebody wrote and did an AI version of Taylor Swift's breakup song with Travis Kelce already. It's like you intercepted my heart. And it's of course because it's AI. It sounds just like her. Maybe we'll play that tomorrow. I'll look for that. I'll look for that tomorrow. It was good. Also, guys, do you remember not that long ago, I shared with you the absolutely insane story of Gavin Newsom, of the state of California approving unemployment benefits for striking workers. Well, Gavin Newsom has vetoed that bill. A broken clock can in fact be right twice a day. I think that, as far as I'm concerned, this makes him anti-union.
This has happened twice, though.
Yep. It says any expansion of eligibility for unemployment benefits could increase California's outstanding federal UI debt, projected to be nearly $20 billion by the end of the year, and could jeopardize California's cost-benefit ratio add-on waiver application, significantly increasing tax on employers, Newsom said. Can you imagine being like some guy who runs a company honestly and his employees actually like him, and you're paying for these people that just hate their employers?
So, I mean, it sounds like the conclusion to the writer's strike has brought back like meritocracy in
Dustin says strike ended, doesn't matter. No, it does still matter because the actors are still on strike.
The actors are still striking, but the writers have accidentally screwed themselves over. They're just too stupid to realize it yet.
Yeah.
They brought back meritocracy into the system, and they're gonna find it even harder to get work now.
There was a very good video that Neon from Clownfish TV did over the weekend talking about that, where that basically various insiders reported, and these were very like deadline articles, right? These weren't like these weren't like right-wing publications or anti-woke publications. These were deadline articles from people talking about like, look, what they're doing is like a lot of these deals, like these first look deals and these deals they had with producers and writers that were running through the strike where none of them could be utilized. They're not extending those contracts.
But it's just like any other iteration of so-called progress. You don't see the consequences of it until way after the fact.
Yeah, they're going to be making less shows, therefore less writers will be hired, which will
But that's a good thing for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they're rewarded for having successful shows now.
That was the funniest part.
And they're going to stop just churning out garbage with quantity over quality.
Yeah, what he was saying in this video is essentially like he said secretly that they wanted this. The studios wanted this because it would allow them to get rid of all the bloat that came out of 2020 and COVID and all of this bubble that was built up because of COVID, where everyone was stuck at home with all of these streaming services, so that they filled a bunch of content while they could because the market share was there at the time. Now that it's gone and the market has cooled, they needed a reason to get all of this stuff off the books, and the strike was the perfect time to do that. So I think in many respects, both sides ended up getting what they wanted on this. I just don't think that the writers I don't think that the writers are going to be happy with how many projects end up coming out, because you really do. You go look at some of these streaming services and just the amount of content is insane. When then you go look at the top 10 lists for these streaming services, and it's always old shows. Yeah. It's always Seinfeld or The Office or NCIS or any of these shows that have been on for 8 gazillion years, and people aren't watching it.
Or
at
Suits.
least or Suits. But in a lot of ways, it's because they're making a lot of these new shows have been made for micro demographics, which means you might actually do well in that micro demographic, but it doesn't reach a large enough audience to make it fiscally prudent for them to do. It doesn't make any sense. So, all right, what would you like to see? Would you like to see Cute of the Day, or would you like to see Cringe of the Day?
Let's start with Cringe.
Let's do Cringe first. Let's do Cringe first, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of Cringe, we've got our good friend Ron DeSantis here. We love Ron DeSantis. We love landlords. Here we go. Oh no. What's funny, at first I'm looking at him sticking his chin out. It's Nikki Haley looking like deadpan, like not moving.
Like, why is she just sitting?
She looks like an automaton who's been flipped off.
Yeah, that was the worst part of this video.
Ron's like muscling up for my battle with Disney.
Make me more orange. Someone commented like he's the only person who can look worse after losing weight. Oh no.
Nikki Haley looks like she has she's like, please just don't move. Don't move. Don't move at all. Oh boy. All right, guys. All right,
They're not people.
They're not.
Politicians are not human beings.
They're not. Much like communists. Here we go. Let's we got one more. Let's do some Cute of the Day here. This one is from Montana Linderman. It says, here's another I captured on my lunch. If 4 pics isn't enough. It says his favorite spot is on the back of my computer chair. Look at him. Looks like he's looking at you right there.
The balance is impeccable.
Yes, it is.
Cute cat.
All right, let's do one more. This is from Bree's Knees 27 on Twitter. Finally got around to posting, and the first X post is to PCC Pets. Love the show, guys. Here's the bunch. There's Miko, the pups, and Buddy, also a pup, and Dr. I don't know how to pronounce that one.
I don't know either.
Oh, that's cute.
Cute cat. That's extremely derpy. Amazing.
Oh!
Wait, so what is the bunny's name?
Dr. Pfeffer?
Pfeffer?
Pfeffer.
Okay. Cute.
Very cute. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. The P is likely silent in that. So very, very cute, guys. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Mary, tell us all of what's going on with Lil Tay.
Lil Tay is officially back from the dead. She has made her comeback and released a song. It's so generic that it almost seems like it was AI generated. Not bad. Like, I didn't mind it, but she's using this music video more so as a platform to expose the abuse she has allegedly suffered by her father, who tried to take over her career and her finances to make money off of when she got famous at only 9 years old. She has explained what was really going on behind this death hoax on her Instagram, getting hacked. And she, it seems at least, was not the person behind it. Her dad was the one behind the death hoax. And she's just used that as the opportunity to come back into the public eye. So maybe we'll show them like a clip of the music video. We can't play the song because we don't want Lil Tay to sue us too.
No, we'll leave it. Like, I don't want, because the image could do it too. Should we play the clip from that Willie Mack posted?
Sure, okay, yeah. Here, so like she did this Instagram live that was like 30 minutes long, where it starts and it's like with a countdown, and then she plays the piano for a few minutes, then she does like an acoustic guitar song, then she starts playing Master of Puppets on the electric guitar, and then she sits down and explains all of what's been going on for the past 5 years in this legal battle that her mom has been in to get custody of her, and what was really going on behind the scenes with her family. Do you?
I'm gonna ask because do you think she's her dress is problematic? Because I see people
problematic.
In the chat, yeah, people in the chat saying she's 16, she shouldn't be dressing like that. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
I mean, I certainly, you know, if I were her mom, wouldn't think that it's very appropriate. But I mean, maybe her mom is a bit of a stage mom, but it's better than
the song is called. The song is called "Sucker for Green." Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's just about being a gold digger.
Here's the thing: like when she's giving this, and we'll watch it in a second. But she gives this like very horrific account of her father's behavior. And what I thought was weird about it is she gives this horrific account of how she was treated and abused. But then, like, usually when musicians do that, it's accompanied by like a new style of music and like a more mature vibe. And it's like she gives.
But instead, she's like just going back to the same
that was weird to me,
exact demeanor that she had before.
It just seemed weird to me. But let's go ahead and watch this clip here.
Out of the shower, and she wouldn't even put clothes on.
She's talking about his
I'll explain what she's actually talking about, but we can't.
Playing these sexually inappropriate movies in front of me, openly in front of me. So that was the norms. Those were the norms in this household. It's fucking sick. And she would always take out her anger onto me. If her son did anything wrong, it would become my fault. And she punched me. She pinched me. Pinching me was a really big thing. Chris mainly shoved me.
Her father is Chris.
And this is one of the worst incidents that happened. This is the police report.
So this whole live stream is just her showing like printed out pictures of essentially a PowerPoint presentation on the hell that was her childhood. So what she's describing is, I think she was in custody with her dad before she was famous, when she was really, really young, like kindergarten to, second grade, seemingly age. And she says that he would hook up with random women from all over Craigslist, like Craigslist ads, bring them into the house and hook up with them in front of her, including in her own bed on top of her, which is obviously disgusting and evil. And then she says that her dad, Chris Hope, married a woman that he flew out from the Philippines who was a career scammer. And he married this woman who brought her son into the home, and they would do the same thing, nudity and sexual activity in front of her.
And he wasn't in her life early on, right? He came back into her life after
he came back into her life after she got famous because he wanted to get custody of her to make money off her. But she alleges that this stepmom was the one punching her, physically abusing her, and other allegations like, you know, her father would send her to school with rotten food in her lunchbox, not clothe her properly, and while he would buy this wife Chanel bags, she
and
like showed pictures of all of this.
What age was this happening?
She must have been like 6 years old.
Okay, so this is before she got famous.
That was one photo that she showed of herself with bruises all over her face. They would force her to watch like sexual movies, horror movies, to like psychologically torment her. And basically, like, when her mom found out about this, she's been trying to get custody of her. And then
the timing of all of this,
it's unclear.
Raises my antenna.
But only because she has said, like, I cannot go into detail of everything that's happened. I have to summarize it because it literally would just take too long. So then essentially she said, like, I left social media because my mom was in a custody battle with my dad for the past 5 years, and also like suing her former employer. Like it turned into a whole mess. But now she is in full custody of her mom, and her dad owes $275,000 in outstanding child support, as well as the next 2 years until she is an adult, because she's 16 right now, and that she's allowed to live with her mom full time. Her mom signs contracts for her. She's also on her new music video. Her mom and her brother are in it, and her brother is credited with directing it, creating it. He has a production company that was in charge of the whole thing.
I do find it interesting that, like, look, what, like, everything that her dad is accused of is evil. Again, I'm past this age now where, like, I can care about, like, who's telling the truth or not, because
I'm just waiting for Pearl Davis to make a video like, we need to hear Lil Tay's dad's side of the story.
We're in a post-truth era with stuff like this. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't much care. I care about the fact that these industries tend to chew up and spit out, you know, children and families.
Bet both of her parents have done morally questionable things to her, and I bet that her mom is a bit of a stage mom, which is a bad thing, and she shouldn't be allowed to prance around on the internet for millions of people wearing a bikini. But it wouldn't be the first time a 16-year-old has done something like that. But what
we're gonna see now is like
it's less bad than all of the stuff that she said that her dad did.
The problem is
maybe
for all
she's
of
in
them
better
is
hands.
The trajectory she's, like I said, she's producing music in an industry that we know is abusive to people at any age, not just as children. And it's like you see a trajectory that it's like watching a slow motion car wreck, right? Like, I don't know if that's what's going to happen here.
It's like after
but
all
I can guess
she's gone through. Why do you want to intentionally throw yourself into an industry where you're still going to be taken advantage of? Almost guaranteed.
Do we want to watch the second one? The
sure.
The 22-second video?
Yeah.
Y'all hating ass bitches were hating on me when I was 9 years old, talking all this shit when you don't fucking know me. So stop fucking talking. You did not come up. You had 5 years to come up and you didn't. So don't blame me, bitch.
She's still talking like she did when she was 9 years old.
She's like I said, it's very hard to like all of the again against her dad. Like we saw the picture of a police report, but allegations are allegations. It's not proof of anything other than allegations. So I can't comment.
She showed
on
pictures
any
of like the food that she was being given and the bad conditions that she was living in. She showed pictures of those. She showed pictures of like text messages between her parents, emails between like showing that he was actually hooking up with women from Craigslist, which is just like, what the fuck.
Like the dad sounds like a scumbag.
Yeah.
But again, we're on the outside looking in here, and I can't know what the hell is true and what the hell isn't.
Yeah. I mean,
I just see the trajectory. I just see a child on a trajectory for something that's not going to be very kind to her later.
Let's show the YouTube clip where she's explaining how her death hoax happened, because she allegedly had nothing to do with it.
Okay. Gets into the death hoax. So, as you all know, Chris Hope was the one that did the death hoax. He was trying to sabotage me. Meanwhile, he was working with this other con artist that was claiming to be my manager, and they had a crypto coin together. Their plan was to fake my death and then promote the crypto coin.
I actually buy that. I 110% buy that.
Yeah.
They would be scummy enough to do that.
Which, by the way, the manager admitted to. He said he'd been working on the crypto coin for months. These people are frauds. This proves how much the press did not give a fuck about facts. They cared about slandering my name. They did not do any fact checking. As long as you claim to be my manager, they would just take your word for it. As long as anyone claimed that my mom got fired from her job, just.
So she says here, I've never had a manager. There were multiple people claiming to be my current or former manager who were not in any way affiliated, and they were working with her dad allegedly on selling this crypto coin.
More than anything, all of this stuff
her.
just makes me think about like how awful it is to be like a kid who ends up working on YouTube with your family.
Yeah.
Just awful. Like there is like very rarely a good outcome to these types of things. It's really funny. Okay, so this is kind of an aside, but like I was so the one that I always mentioned, the family that travels and does their videos, like
yes.
There's nothing untoward there. It's fine, whatever. But it's just funny how everyone knows that the reason people watch, it's just such a like they watch because the mom is hot.
Because the mom's wearing leggings.
And in this one video, they're like showing like the kids and her like making food, and like the camera doesn't even pan to the kid. It's like the kids aren't even in the shot basically because they know whether subconsciously for whatever reason, like it just felt like the focus wasn't there because they know what's going to get them clicks.
Yeah.
And it just feels
a
like
sinister
family
environment.
And that's not even like sinister in the sense that it's on purpose, but just that when you put a profession that revolves around getting clicks and attention with family dynamics. I mean, we already know that family businesses are rampant with, internal problems because you take regular family pressures, you combine them with, family business, and it can be very, very difficult. Now you add that to industries like Hollywood, which are exploitative in their own right, and you have a recipe for disaster. I'm actually surprised it's not worse, or at least that these stories aren't even more prevalent.
Well,
we had the story about what's her name, the mom who just arrested on 6 felonies. I forget her name.
You mean Ruby Frank?
Ruby Frank.
Yeah. No, yeah, there are countless stories just like this. I mean, the cynical view that we had before we learned more about this situation is that Lil Tay was behind it all and that she created the death hoax in order to promote her new music, and that's exactly how it looks from the outside. But I think what she's actually doing is using the timing of the death hoax to then record this music video, and then she's using the music video more so as a platform to expose her dad for these abuse allegations.
You don't think it's the other way around? You don't think she's using the allegations to bolster the music video in her career?
I don't know how serious she is about having this music career anyway. She's only 16. She'll change her mind in a year.
I mean, who says it's her idea? Who says it's not her mom's idea?
Not her mom? Well, then she can fake her death again, and then she'll come back and expose her mom. Yeah. How about that? But yeah, Willie Mac Show tweeted about this. He is leaning toward not believing her. He said, "Not gonna lie, boy cried wolf one too many times for me to believe anything coming from her. Do you believe it?" I think she needed to post those screenshots instead of just
holding up
throwing pieces of paper in front of you.
But even then, like I mean, showing a piece of paper doesn't mean people can go look at the filing for what happened. And at the end of the day, it's all he said, she said stuff, anyways, and it's disturbing.
I don't know if her dad is gonna say anything now.
It's all so disturbing. Like when they make those accusations against the dad, I'm like, yeah, totally buy it. Totally buy that there's scumbag people out there, especially if he came back into her life and he didn't raise her from the beginning and he just tried to reinsert himself in her life and was just a bad person. I buy that.
He was basically telling the court that the mom was being stage mom, like forcing her
and that's
into
the problem. I buy that
industry.
too. I buy both sides being
but
awful.
Then his intention with getting custody of her wouldn't have been to take her out of the entertainment industry. It would have been to be the one benefiting off of her being in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, it's scary to think that we live in a world now where such serious things can be used to promote, you know, your capitalist business of a music video can be used. And that's the other thing. The music video is so unserious and so sexualized that it's like, okay.
And you know what? There were a lot of people saying, like, what do you mean? Like, it's not sexual, that she's just wearing a bikini. Like, it's just normal. Like, have you not seen Britney Spears when she was 16?
And that was sexualized too.
You know what? That just shows how desensitized we are as a culture, because if that is what our culture considers tame, then we have just lost any sense of decorum and any sense of like protecting young people.
It really does. Like, it feels like the girl never had a chance because both parents are out to get theirs, and that's one of those things you hear the most about child celebrities.
Like, has she been in school?
Yeah.
Has she been doing anything normal kids do this whole time?
She's like, how do you say F you haters? Like, spell F you haters, right? Like, it's just, it's sad. And yeah, the brother supposedly wrote the song.
Co-wrote it with her.
Yeah.
He has the production company that did the whole thing.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Okay, Kai said, totally liked and subbed. Let's get this party started.
Let's go!
Thanks. Kai also said Trump won the debate.
Is that what you think? Do you think Trump won the debate by not being there?
Exactly,
It's
yes.
It's a bunch of people vying for first loser.
Yeah, Link Lauren tweeted about this, and he said, you know, the only way to win that debate is to not be there, and that he thinks it would be cool if people like Vivek and RFK did an off-network debate of their own and showed like we're actually the serious candidates because we're not like those clowns.
Yep.
High Voltage 75 said, house to yourselves, party at the castle, all crisis actors invited, be your own boss.
That's bring your own beer.
Oh, okay.
Be your own boss too. You can be your own
boss too because your boss is in Miami.
Yes. Let's do one more.
James Ornthal Wen said, oh, it's what Brett does to me. Pause. What?
Is that a lyric from a Metro Station song?
Hey there, Delilah. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Even better. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on. Mary, tell us what the hell is going on with...
So we've covered this before, but there is a prank YouTuber named Tanner Cook who got shot in the middle of recording one of his videos. He was in a mall not too far away from us, actually, when he was filming this video, and we only recently got a chance to see it because the man who shot him was acquitted.
I don't think we can watch this on YouTube. I don't know. I don't think so. Guys,
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are on that.
We've gotten a couple of...
the guy was not killed, okay? Tanner Cook was injured. He was not killed, and he even from his hospital bed said, like, I'm gonna keep on making prank videos. This is my passion.
I'm gonna post the link in the chat.
You can't. I don't think that links work when they're posted on like YouTube chats. Do they?
It worked. So the link is there to the Dixerto article, and
you can watch it. You can watch
it yourself. But
he goes up to this guy, and this is a delivery driver. He's picking up somebody's like Grubhub or Uber Eats order from a mall food court.
That was somehow made it work. Like that was somehow
guy.
sadder to me because I was like, oh, the guy's just there getting his own food. That's sad. Knowing that the guy's just out doing his job, just trying to make a living, working his 9 to 5 plus 5, and Tanner's out here.
Tanner is also trying to make his back.
Well, this guy is out here providing nourishing meals to other people, and this guy's out
nourishing here society.
I was telling Mary earlier how the term nourishing it fills me with an unintentional amount of just anger. I hate it when people use the term nourishing in a sentence, but the point is he's delivering nourishing food to other people to put in their bellies.
He's nourishing
sustenance provided by this gentleman, and Tanner Cook is over here just being a menace.
So what is he has this recording that he's playing on loop on his phone while he walks up to this guy and shoves his phone in his face, and he's like kind of getting in his personal space.
Oh, he's all up, and he's taller, and he's all up in
approaching
this
the guy,
dude's-
even though he's saying like, "Get away from me, stop." And what is his phone saying? It's like,
oh, maybe we could play just that part. Hold on.
what is it?
Hold
saying?
on, guys. Here we go.
Something really stupid.
What?
We're thinking about my twinkle.
You're thinking about my twinkle? Is that what it's saying?
We're thinking about my twinkle.
He's all up in this dude's space. He's
Yes.
right up near him. He looks threatening. He absolutely looks like he's threatening him.
Yeah, he just keeps going. His friend is watching. Okay, don't.
Yeah. So guys, right at that point is where you get to see the
Yes.
the peak of the F around and find out scale is
Yeah.
right there.
So this man felt like he needed to defend himself, and there was a threat.
It's just a prank, bro.
Tanner got shot in the stomach somewhere. He lived. He was okay. And this guy, he has been acquitted by a jury after shooting him. So Matt Walsh added his 2 cents. He said, "Good shoot, no question. He felt threatened by some weirdo harassing him in public, acted to defend himself. Only real tragedy here is that the customer never got his food."
That is like,
Thinking about being that guy.
Imagine that guy.
You
who's
were just
like,
waiting on your Popeyes chicken sandwich, and then you see this on the local news, and you're like, damn it. It's always me.
I wonder if he waited like a couple hours. He's like, oh, it was totally that guy. Like he's like 3 hours.
Did he get a
like-
refund?
like, that's the real question. I would like eventually Hulu will make a documentary about the guy who didn't get his refund.
So Mike Cernovich also said, unfortunately, this man still got convicted for discharging a firearm in a public place.
Yeah.
Matt Walsh said, deranged logic by the jury. If they buy his self-defense claim, then how can they still convict him for unlawfully discharging a firearm? I agree. This guy should be let off completely. And prank YouTubers just need to F around and find out more often then.
I put a poll up in the chat for all of you today. I said, is quote unquote self-defense justified if a prank YouTuber harasses you? 90% so far say yes.
Yeah.
10% say no. In the movies, they would tell you to do a bunch of karate or shoot him in the toe or something. That's what they would tell you to do in the movies.
They would say to call a social worker and then shoot him with a poison dart in the pinky toe.
Yes, exactly.
And then backflip directly down the escalator.
I see. What you really need to what he needs to do is he needs to get to Mr. Beast levels so that the stuff you're doing is just so outside of the average person's tax bracket.
Pranks people by doing something nice for them.
Did you see the thing about the story about him, his new they're comparing his new video to torture? Pull it. I was reading
Mr.
about it.
Beast?
Yeah, all his stuff is starting to look like Stanford prison experiments. They really are.
I don't really watch Mr. Beast content. Personally.
100 days. So this is what he's doing with his news. It says Mr. Beast's latest challenge is to spend 100 days with a stranger is being compared to psychological torture. So it's you spend 100 days with a person, you aren't chained up, and they're being motivated by the promise of $500,000. And basically, if it says, would you spend 100 days in this room with a random stranger for $500,000? The door is unlocked. If one of you leave before 100 days, you both lose. So that's the room.
They're gonna kill each other.
Well, no, they're gonna save each other by making sure that they don't leave. Every time one of them's like, I'm out of here. I don't care about $500,000 anymore. And they're like, no, I do.
Would you be able to do it?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I think
100 days is a long time. Do they have everything they need to live? Can they shower?
I'm assuming there's cameras. It really does start to look like a prison experiment in there, right?
Is this going on right now?
I don't think that this is going on
I
yet.
think, you know what? He's taking notes from Sam Hyde doing fishtank.live.
Yes.
That's what he's taking notes from.
He's doing the PG.
He took that idea and made it a little bit more packaged and palatable so he can keep getting brand deals.
Oh yeah, seems like the keep your hand on the Jeep challenge. Remember that when everybody
That's
had to,
even crazier than
that
this.
stuff was crazy. A lot of people will do a lot for but $500,000 is a lot of money. But remember, the government's going to take a hefty amount of that in taxes.
True.
Which is shitty. Like he should start doing a thing where he starts calling, like it's like all in, like this is what we were gonna give you, but like so the number reaches 500,000, so it's like it's actually you win like however much it would be like after the government takes out its taxes. It says any person that's been in jail can do it. Yes, that is absolutely true. I think that most
his channel is called Classified Goons, right?
Yes. Yep.
I wonder if he's ever gonna make videos again. Because I mean,
he said he's not quitting. He said I'm not. He's like I didn't choose the prank YouTuber life. The prank YouTuber life chose me.
This is kind of the best thing that could ever happen to his YouTube career, though.
His next video will be like it's gonna be
a month ago. He posted detained at the airport. Like he's going around with this gunshot wound and still pranking people. You can't stop him.
He's like he should make a video where he goes right back to the mall to prank a guy at the Popeyes.
One of his videos is called "I Got Shot." Like he's using it as a selling point.
So I got shot.
So this happened.
I mean the like
you just can't stop pranking YouTubers.
I wonder if the prosecutor.
Sociopaths.
I wonder if the prosecutor or the defense or the prosecutor's like look, or, no like his he's like look. I'm the defense lawyer. He's like, look, everybody hates prank YouTubers. Am I right? Like, nobody likes...
Like, they're like, what's your body count? And you're like, it's about to be 1, bitch.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. Yeah.
1 less than there was 5
So shout out Alan Coley. That's his name. You're not guilty. You deserve justice.
I support this guy getting off of this because I just don't feel.
I really wish I got jury duty for this. I really do.
Bear's bullish. She's like, I'm sticking by it. He's innocent. He's innocent, guys. And you know, like also you don't know what they're gonna do. Like they're like when you watch the video, they're like pushing him in a certain direction, and they're being very forceful right there.
Well,
like,
I mean, his friend was just kind of trailing along, but yeah. What was the point? Like, what is the reaction you're hoping for?
For that video, also like low quality video. That's the funniest part.
Why does it look like it was filmed on a potato? Like, at least like put some effort into this. Like, invest in your passion project, which is harassing strangers.
You got to be better at it, man. What were some of the comments on this? There were some interesting comments on this. The ones I saw earlier. So a lot, like it seems like the comments kind of went both ways. Like some people saying like, "Look, I'm surprised this happens. This doesn't happen more often."
They were playing a silly phrase on a phone. One juror said, "How could the defendant have found that he was reasonably in fear of imminent bodily harm?" They were thinking about his twinkle.
Yep. Well, also, could that be construed as some type of sexual harassment?
Yes.
There you go.
Well, if it were a woman,
yeah,
probably.
Oh, somebody says people still casually walking by must be normal for virginity. Yes, you pointed this out. He gets shot, and like a guy's pace doesn't change. The guy walking.
No, yeah, that was. We can't show this part because it's right after the gunshot. But what got me, like, cracked up about this video was obviously not someone getting almost killed, but the fact that everyone around them is just so casual about it. Like this guy is just walking by with his like Zoomies haul, like his like bag from Dillard's or whatever, and he hears the gunshot and he just keeps walking. Like slow paced, he doesn't start running. Like he doesn't even think maybe there's a mass shooting. He's just like, I've had enough to worry about today. Like this is my off day. I don't care.
He's like, there's an Auntie Annie's over there. I got to get a pretzel.
No, imagine like you're working at like I don't know the Panda Express across the way in the food court.
So
and
you
you're
said
like,
orange chicken, right?
Yeah. So, anyways, would you like a free sample of stuff?
Oh, that's like, and also like this would be a great time for Paul Blart Mall Cop to just show up and save the day. That's what he's been dreaming about his whole life.
He was probably having a hypoglycemic attack.
There was an episode of the show Cold Case back in the day where it was like not too long after Columbine. And that show would do a lot of like ripped from the headlines type stories, but instead of a school, they have 2 kids who just take out a freaking a food court at a mall, and then like shoot themselves at the end because it was like, you know, it was very inspired by what had happened to Klebold and so like and I just it's sad, but that was the first thing I thought of. When I saw this, I was like, because it's like a Smashing Pumpkins song is playing, it's that whole thing was just crazy and not that far from us at all.
No, so unfortunately, these things happen.
Well,
too often.
That's the thing. It's just a prank, bro. Like you gotta be careful. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Kai said a gift in behalf of Ellen Thompson, a Crisis Party OG.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And he also said, leave Britney alone.
Look, I'm like, okay, I get it, guys. Like, everyone has this for, like, the celebrities that they carry a little bit of water for, right? Where they're like, look, you're being unfair. You're bullying them. They are public figures, and it is our job. And I think we are pretty fair most of the time. We may crack a joke or two. We may be humorous in some respects, but I don't think that we're overly rude to public figures, given that a lot of people choose to be, because they
I don't
decide
care
to
enough
make
about them to hate them.
Exactly, right? So it's like, I can laugh at these types of things, just like I can laugh at Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I can laugh at Britney Spears. I can laugh at all of these situations. There are no sacred cows in pop culture.
Look, we were praising her. She's a queen supporting small businesses.
She is.
Shane H. Wilder said, as I told Raymond G. Stanley, I added Donald Del Rey to my 2023 Spotify playlist. It's a bop.
It's totally a bop.
Well, are there AI covers on Spotify? Because if there are, I mean, I guess it technically can't stream on there.
Yeah, would they get in trouble for it? Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm checking YouTube. Donald Del Rey. Yeah, it's like the first thing that comes up is Donald Del Rey, Summertime Sadness.
Are there other Donald Del Rey covers?
There's a full version of this.
Any other songs?
If this became his alter ego, and he started a Lana Del Rey cover band called Donald Del Rey.
That would be, like, name a more iconic duo. That would be legendary for me. Like, that would be a moment in my life. Two people I love.
Let's do one more, and then let's move on.
Potatoes for Seamus said, I like the hair, Brett. 1T. Oi, hello, Governor Mary.
I have to. Okay,
hello?
so here's a funny story. So, I'm not somebody who's like in the past. Like I had a lady who cut my hair. Same lady cut my hair for years and years. I went to high school with her. She moved to California, and I was like, look, I'll marry you. Just stay here, please. This was back when I still lived in Minnesota. When I moved out here, I didn't have anybody to cut my hair, so I just cut it myself. Whatever. Finally, got suggested a place from Carter. Ended up not going to the lady he suggested to me to go there, but I went to the place, and so the lady that was cutting my hair left. Now I had to call the lady that Carter recommended me, and I suggested literally every day, and every day didn't work. It's just really funny. I was like, weekend? She's like, no, I don't do weekends. So I'm like, Friday? She's like,
why can't she tell you when she's
that's
available?
Eventually she's like, I listed every day and worked all the way back to Tuesday, and then I'm like, fine, Tuesday.
Usually you gotta do at least a month in advance.
Yeah. Well, it's but so yeah, it was just really funny. It's like, thanks for being flexible. I'm like, well,
Gotta have to
be. Don't really have a choice about it.
Thanks.
So. All right, let's hold off on the rest and let's
Okay.
come back after the fact. So tell us what's going on with Disney.
There is a woman named Emma McGinnis who is suing Disney for $50,000, not enough money if you ask me, over an incident in which she suffered a near fatal atomic wedgie. And look, all sympathy to this woman, but that phrasing
The media is just dragging her,
hilarious,
man.
and the media is dragging her and kind of trivializing what happened. This was back in October 2019, so this is pre-COVID Disney. She was at the Orlando one. That's Disney World, right?
Yeah, they called it a gynecological incident.
Yeah, on the ride called Typhoon Lagoon. Let us know if any of you guys have been on the Typhoon Lagoon.
The slide
water
carries
slide.
with it specific risks about which Disney knew or the
Yes.
exercise of reasonable care should have been known.
They got very lax about telling people the safety precautions. You have to cross your legs when you go down. You have to be wearing shorts. And this woman did not get those warnings.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess she has grounds to sue. I think she could be asking for more.
Oh yeah,
It sounds like it was a
$50,000
horrible.
$50,000 is nothing to Disney, and now your name
Yeah.
is tied forever to Death Wedgie.
You
And I don't know if
deserve
that's
more
worth it.
money just because
the
your
headlines.
name is going to be showing up on Google by Injurious Wedgie for the rest of your life. So I saw this tweet that said, I keep seeing articles about a woman suing Disney after getting a wedgie on a water slide. To be clear, the woman was injured so badly that her intestines protruded through her abdominal wall and blood gushed out of her.
That's insane.
Disney is trying to downplay her very serious injuries. So maybe Disney has a hand in how the media is framing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it feels like having
to save their asses,
having it say wedgie in every headline. You can't blame the media. You can, because they're evil, but it's like they're
blame
like
both them and Disney.
Yeah, you can blame us too because we're putting it in the headline,
it's
right?
Funny. It's funny. I'm sorry,
but like she should be suing for more. She should absolutely be suing.
$50,000 is not enough.
Like $50,000 is not enough to have your intestines coming out of your body
and to be made fun of on the internet this much. Like, a lot of people don't know how serious it was.
Like, look at this headline and tell me that like you don't like at least want to giggle.
Right, exactly. And people are comparing this to the famous lawsuit of the woman that got burnt by her McDonald's coffee.
That was a very famous one.
And she was dragged by the media too. Maybe McDonald's had something to do with that. I don't know. But she was dragged by the media because it just sounds like a ridiculous complaint, and this was before Karens were a thing.
Oh yeah.
But
oh goodness,
she was like,
she's gonna get an atomic wedgie.
She was characterized as the first Karen.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds like you're trying to do a money grab. You're trying to do a cash grab lawsuit for no reason. But this woman that got burnt by her coffee, it was like third degree or like fourth degree burns that she suffered.
Yeah, there's a
made her like, I think she like died overall, like as a result of what happened. She was like elderly and she had lifelong.
No, there's a Wikipedia, if I remember correctly, there's a Wikipedia entry for that.
The McDonald's.
For the McDonald's
let me look that up then.
It says, the impact of the slide and Emma's impact into the standing water at the bottom of the slide caused Miss McGinnis' clothing to be painfully forced between her legs and for water to be violently forced inside of her, says the complaint. She experienced immediate and severe pain internally, and as she stood up, blood began rushing from between her legs. This sounds like a horror movie scene. You guys saw Saw this weekend.
Imagine vacating Typhoon Lagoon after that happened.
Prince Namor says, the coffee was hot.
Okay, so it says, a woman named Mabel Childress. I mean, she just sounds old.
Mabel, yes.
Miss Mabel filed a lawsuit against McDonald's over a scalding cup of coffee with an improperly attached lid, resulted in the coffee pouring out on her body, causing severe burns after she tried drinking it. And then another old woman sued them in 1992. She was 79. She also was burned by McDonald's coffee while sitting in her car, and she got $3 million in damages.
$3 million, lady! You got a bloody atomic wedgie. Sue for at least $10 million with inflation.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but I think that they like found out the coffee was 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. So obviously that's like, she's not being dramatic, and McDonald's might have, wanted to make her seem like she was just being litigious and overdramatic. Disney has a similar interest in doing the same thing. And then you told me about these other two lawsuits where one woman is suing Disney at the same time here after falling off of a 3-foot drop on a test track at Epcot.
Yep.
I don't know much about this one. She's suing for $50,000, right?
Yep. Or no, I thought it was more.
Or more.
Yeah.
And then another one is a lawsuit involving a child that suffered whiplash on Peter Pan's flight. It unexpectedly stopped and then violently restarted again at Magic Kingdom. The child's father is suing Disney. It doesn't say for how much.
Somebody in the chat says it is all starting to feel very Final Destination-esque. These things, the film Final Destination.
I haven't seen that film.
Look, all of this it's dangerous, but there is the idea that people, who was I talking to over the weekend where we were talking about sometimes the American dream is just to slip and fall in the right driveway. And I was like every time I would walk into a Target parking lot, secretly I'd think, wouldn't it be nice if I just hit a patch of ice and tripped and fell, so that you can sue and make a ton of money? I think I said that on the Ballers episode, because Shane told this story about a woman who like broke her jaw, and her jaw came through her mouth and like locked into place, like because she wouldn't stop trying to talk on the broken jaw. And I'm just like, the American dream really is that you just slip, fall, and the right ride
fall into
goes
a pile
wrong.
of money.
The wrong ride goes goes wrong at the right time. The right ride goes wrong at the right time.
Yeah.
And you hope to come out of it financially ahead. Right? That would be the beauty of something like this. Do you ever go? Are you a ride person?
I've never been on a roller coaster specifically.
Not a roller
I don't
coaster
think I've
person?
been on any serious rides.
Yeah.
I'm not a big risk taker, but I would do a roller coaster now.
Did you see the video of Mr. Beast launching the roller coasters at the house?
No.
Okay, so I wonder if we can we show Mr. Beast videos without it getting like
I feel like we might get copyright.
Like he did this thing called like the roller coaster challenge.
Where you just destroy shit with a roller coaster.
Yeah, no, that's literally what it is.
Yeah, as if anybody else is going to participate in this
Mr.
roller
Beast's
coaster
newest
challenge.
Video, they performed a stunt where they removed the track from a roller coaster, causing the car to jump off and crash through a trailer. But
are there people
what
in
coaster
that?
is
No.
this?
Okay.
They put dummies in
Okay,
it.
okay.
I do love how now Mr. Beast has become a sociopathic child who pulls the head off of his dolls. Like that's what it is now. It's awesome. I get a huge kick out of it.
In 1986, Smart's amusement park.
So yeah,
in
the
Littlehampton,
video
England,
shows. Let's
purchased
see
a
if we can.
Finfari Zyklon 40.
So that's the
coaster
same
model-
one.
That was the yeah. It's
Okay.
at the park there, yeah. It says last to leave the roller coaster with. Like these are all old. Like, he's got several videos that involve roller coasters. So yeah, that he did that for. Oh yeah, there it is.
Mr. Beast is Kid Dynamite.
Like some people just want to dance. Mr. Beast just wants to blow up roller coasters.
It's his passion.
It's his passion. I get a kick out of Mr. Beast. Like I was never really a fan, and I get it, but like more like maybe it's just because we have to watch so much depressing shit all day that seeing like vaguely wholesome.
At least he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah, like seeing vaguely wholesome stuff is like is something that I get more of a kick out of nowadays because there's perspective there. But now, who knows? Now next time somebody's going to be in the ride and somebody's going to get an atomic wedgie and they're going to sue Mr. Beast for $50,000 and he will literally sneeze it out of his nose. $50,000 will just appear. It's incredible. It's but yeah, how do you feel like this is one of those things because we're more litigious as a society? Because it feels like a lot of times with stuff like this
these
now.
cases sound legitimate.
Legitimate
to
to you? Yeah.
I'm sure.
And
You know,
there's
and even if this is people being opportunistic and litigious, I don't care. Disney should have to pay out anyway.
Make them pay, we say.
Make
There's
them
nothing
pay.
there's nothing wrong with making Disney pay for their stupidity.
They already pay for their stupidity with all of their movie releases.
Yes.
So.
Well, we end up talking about them and being upset with them, but yeah, it is what it is.
$50K kind of low.
Could have sued him for more, Mickey. Yeah, like I would love them just like that. That is so low. Like when you think about when was the lawsuit from the coffee one?
1994.
$3 million in 1994. What is that now? Chat. How much is $3 million?
Like 10 mil?
Like you should be suing Disney for at least $10 million, or at least what you do, you sue them for 20, so that they send you a low ball that's at least $1 million.
Brett, what would you do if you woke up one morning and you were in Taylor Swift's body? You could be her for a day.
I would put a bunch of money in my bank account.
You would Venmo yourself.
I would wire.
I don't know if they allow you to send.
I would wire
that
transfer
big.
myself. I send some on Venmo, some on. I'd wire transfer
Diversify
bank.
your assets.
I'd buy a shit ton of crypto in my name. There's
Okay.
a $20 one there from Nessa Ludden.
You should rock your Target red and ankle socks.
She's saying that, ladies and gentlemen, because Nessa. I worked with Vanessa at Target back in the day. I managed a photo lab at a Target back in the day. I did not wear ankle socks because I heard that ankle socks are bad now.
Can you tell me like what the weirdest photos were?
Oh yeah. So on more than one occasion I saw dead bodies because cops brought in pictures for.
They can't do that on their own. They can't develop their photos.
They were like late for court and needed extra copies. I saw the very weird shit that couples would bring in. Yeah. I don't know if they just thought you didn't look at the photos.
Of course you have to.
Like it would be weird because like you offered like retouching on the photos, and then they'd be like, "Did you look at my photos?" Like, well, we had to do the retouching, so yes. Weird sexual shit would come up from time to time, but cops like
weird or just.
I mean, weird for something to be shown publicly to another person that they didn't want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bachelor and bachelorette parties were always. Oddly enough, we'll get into that later. Always had crazy photos.
That's fun.
Because this was so long ago. This is back when you still brought in disposable cameras.
Like you see like Justin Trudeau in blackface.
Basically, and yes, in Halloween would always I always looked forward to the day after Halloween.
That's so
lots of
nostalgia.
What I imagine extremely professional women dressed and behaving not very professionally with their Halloween photos. Lots of that.
And if they had known that you get to look at the photos, would they have
I think most of them knew. I think the women knew. The women seemed smarter than the men when it came to photo printing and stuff like that.
The dead bodies is pretty weird, yeah.
Yeah, like that, and then or like huge drug raids where they would confiscate large amounts of drugs and they'd have to have pictures of it. At the bust. I don't know.
Damn.
You know, like you'd think that would be done in house, but I assume is like the originals were printed there. But like whenever this would happen, it would always be by some plainclothes who was in a hurry. So it must have been like they were on their way to court and they forgot they needed a second copy or something like that.
Okay.
It was a weird. I love that job though. Like at times it was like that and I loved delivering medications. That was my favorite job that I ever had. I drove a regular car around the state of Minnesota to deliver to like people that were rich enough that they could afford like prescriptions to be delivered to their house. Like a lot of times it was like elderly people in like hospice care or stuff like that, but just basically like drove a work car all around the state and listened to. Unfortunately, podcasts weren't as popular as they are now. But
listen to a radio shock jock.
I listened to a lot of like just my iPod. It was literally an iPod at the time because
like you plug in your iPod shuffle.
Yeah, like just your regular iPod, and then yeah. And back then, I remember when I was telling you, like back then we didn't even have like your phone didn't even have a map on it. You had to use a freaking Garmin to do the map. Yeah, you didn't have access to a phone with a map on it at the time because most phones at that time.
I'm so glad that I started driving in the age of smartphones just because I have no sense of direction.
Yeah, well, I was explaining that to Ian on Friday. I'm like, you literally, because like I said that like when I stopped driving back in like 2013 or 2012, it was 2013. Like you just like you knew how to get places, or you had a Garmin or something like that. But for the most part, you just knew how to get where you were going. And when I started driving again, I'm in a whole different state, and you have to start all over. And it was really weird to be back driving, and you used different parts of your brain.
They're calling you a drug mule.
Technically, I was I was technically a legal drug mule. Yes, I worked for a pharmacy, or for like it was technically like a medical supply company. But like they had one division that did prescription delivery, and another division that delivered like medical equipment to be delivered to these places. And I used to have like it was like a scale of how depressing the nursing homes were, because they're all depressing. But there was one where I would be like, I would literally have to like take like Prozac before going. It was so freaking depressing to go into.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. So, all right, let's go ahead. Let's go to Superchats, shall we?
Goofer Trooper said, finally get to watch live again. Unfortunately, it's because I split my finger to the bone at work. But aside from that, let's go.
Goofer Trooper, what do you do for a living, buddy? I hope you're okay.
I'm wondering the same. Well, recover quickly.
Feel better, my friend.
Hope you feel better.
And then let's do two more.
Kai said, "Doll click, just stop. You're not as smart as you think you are."
Guys, be kind to each other.
What is going on?
Guys, that was during the Lil Tay discussion. Guys, be kind to each other. Respect your
contentious.
Respect your differences of opinions here.
Shane H. Wilder said, "And we wonder why these kids become effed up adults."
Yep. I mean, there's the jury's out on that because like Lil Tay is not an adult yet. But what we can do is if you pray, you can pray that she doesn't end up effed up as an adult.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. All right. So what's going on, Mary, with TikTok and calling out people?
Yes. I think call out culture and cancel culture has been the norm, the status quo for a while now, but specifically the trend of tattletaling on strangers who you don't even know on TikTok, it's in full swing. Recently, a stripper who has a pretty big platform on TikTok decided to call out a woman who was having a scandalous bachelorette party at her strip club. Simply because this woman didn't tip. That's her
why
offense.
It's funny because like
that was her biggest offense. Not that this woman was cheating on her fiance the night before her wedding. She doesn't care about all that. She cares about getting her tips. So she decided to potentially ruin this woman's marriage and go viral on TikTok doing it. So let's just watch the video. Why don't we?
Please, I got it here.
Oh, also, her TikTok name is 21st Century Whore. So that gives you a little preface
Here we go.
for who you're listening to.
If your fiance is having her bachelorette party in Nashville on the week of August 31st and has braces, hair about this length with blonde highlights, a cowboy hat with a veil on it, she is cheating on you and was just getting fingered. Can I even say that word on TikTok?
Getting blasted.
Yeah, getting blasted by some guy in the strip club. And she also doesn't tip, so you got yourself a winner. Oh yeah, and she was trying to record girls on stage. She's like 28 or 29.
Hold on. Sorry. Thank you.
It's party time.
Amazing timing on that one.
Amazing timing on that one, was it not? All right.
Dress was like white with like pinkish flowers, and her friend, the only girl with her,
I guess it's kind of ironic that we're getting showered with money while
That is very ironic. I like
watching a stripper TikTok.
Please do it.
Oh my god. And her friend tried to and she was rubbing his dick through his pants, so.
She was, and then they left together. So, good luck with your divorce.
funny.
Just the way she's elated at the idea of ruining her marriage.
Yeah, it's really. Yeah, you could say that. Look, like her intentions don't matter. She's a hero because she's exposing this cheating whore of a woman.
But at the same time, if you're a stripper, do you have the moral high ground in this situation?
Then it's about,
you both are horrible.
Are you looking for results, or are you looking for like? Is this one of those?
She's looking for revenge.
Is this one? No, I'm saying, is this one of those things where the ends justify the means, or don't? You know, it doesn't really matter that the lady's not of doing it for. Noble reasons. She's still exposing bad behavior. I guess
the people who care deeply about loyalty in commitments like marriage usually aren't attendees at strip clubs, so they wouldn't be likely to be there.
Now, that's not the part that I'm disturbed by.
This
What I'm
person
disturbed
who
by is
tweeted it, their caption is insane. She said, exposing someone's fiance for having harmless fun at a bachelorette party is insane behavior. Let girls have fun on the last free day of their lives.
First of all, what is she going to jail? Is she going to jail? I mean, is that the social conditioning that we've been subjected to, where people talk about it? And the funny thing is, that's permeated through culture at all levels. Though ironically, it's usually more about like men talking about
both
about this, right? And it's like they don't even want to get married. Your last day of freedom.
Look, if you cheat on someone the night before your wedding, you're probably going to cheat on them after that too. So, Yeah, I mean, people.
They're saying
why do people
saying the
act
stripper-
out and cheat on their fiancés at their bachelor and bachelorette parties? It's because society conditions them to think that they're about to get shackled to someone they hate.
Like people are saying that the stripper was a straight bro. The stripper, your bro would do this because he's your homie. The stripper did it because she didn't get tipped.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
She's not trying to be a good Samaritan here.
No, she's not looking to help this
And then
guy.
all of the girls in the comments are saying, like, I'm so excited for the update. I'm so excited if this ends up on his For You page and he gets to respond to it. I want to see them get divorced. All because this woman doesn't tip strippers. Like, our moral compass is so backwards now. And also, there's been a huge debate about whether this trend of tattletaling on TikTok is ethical.
What are your thoughts on it?
I've seen multiple examples of it before. Usually it's just somebody getting nosy in someone else's business. I think if there's a group of women who are gossiping about a friend group drama and you decide to go expose them, not really knowing what they're talking about, just for the sake of chaos, then yeah, you're being an immature tattletale. But if there's maybe a situation where like someone is legitimately getting wronged, like, or they're getting scammed or something, yeah, go ahead and talk about it. They're probably not going to see your video anyway. So it's futile no matter what you do. But this one video from Kelsey Coetzer on TikTok went viral as well last month. It was captioned "Justice for the Bride," and she was at brunch and overheard the conversation of all these bridesmaids talking crap about the bride and saying she looked ugly on her wedding day. And
They
all this
act
stuff.
like women don't say this stuff all the time.
It's not like anyone committed a crime. Like,
Yeah.
and also you're just gonna break the bride's heart by letting her know that this
What
happened.
did she gain? I guess she gains like the ability to cut them off as friends.
I guess. I don't know. I question it. but
I'm very big into the idea that none of this is any of my damn business.
play that video.
Like, if I
Here
heard
she
this-
is dressed like a pilgrim trying to ruin
so this lady
someone's life.
This lady is not friends with the lady who got
She doesn't
outed.
know any of these
Then this is none of her business. Stay out. Like the other people.
That's what a lot of people are
The other
saying.
people are crappy. Like I get it. The other people are
Yeah.
crappy, but
like as if you haven't done something underhanded before, right?
nobody's business. Just hold, please. I'm just saying it's like not your friend group. Now, if this is your friend group
No.
and you want to do it, then yeah. By
She
all
was
means.
just
Go back to my
bored at
hotel.
brunch.
I was just at brunch, and I have to tell you this
And it
story.
is because
Just sitting back-
this lady is not exposing anything because she wants to help this lady. Women love the chaos of gossip. They do.
They like spread
to
discord.
a table full of 3 girls, and they were all talking about how they were in their friend's wedding a few weeks ago. And at first it was sort of tame gossip, talking about how they didn't like the cut of their dresses or the color of their dresses.
You're not supposed to.
But then it got sinister very quickly. Main girl, the blonde, she was kind of the ringleader of this dynamic, and she was talking about how
She was like Regina
she felt
George.
so ugly on her day, and it was so unfair that the day of her friend's wedding,
Their
that she
friends
was
are just
in,
jealous.
was all about her, the bride, and not about the bridesmaids. And she was going on to say about how like the bride
Sounds
was
fake.
supposed to look so beautiful, but she didn't, and the bridesmaids also didn't look beautiful. She was talking about how she really always wears her hair down, but the bride wanted everyone to wear their hair up, and that was unacceptable to this lady. Then this other girl in this dynamic chips in about how the flowers that every girl had to hold were so ugly that she could have gone
This
into
just
the
sounds like a
backyard.
bunch of really, really, really bitter women that are probably not married yet.
You know, they keep saying women aren't
any
getting
house
married and having
to
kids
any
because they're too
forest.
busy going to brunch.
They're like, they've got too many bridesmaids days as
They're too
bridesmaids
busy
on the
brunching.
calendar. Yeah, and making fun of their friends that they can't get married.
Plucked out some flowers and made a prettier bouquet. Then the other girl chimes in and is talking about how the way that the bride spent money was really unacceptable to her. Say how they had a rosé toast instead of a champagne toast, and maybe if she spent her money more wisely, she'd be able to afford champagne versus rosé. And guys, it gets worse. Talking about the gallery that they had
facial
just been
expression.
sent of
I thought,
photos.
aren't bridesmaids gowns supposed to make like not be as attractive as the bride's gowns? So that
I mean, not necessarily not as attractive, but they're supposed to be less formal and yeah.
To me, it's the glee on all of these women's faces when they're doing it. There isn't an honest intention among them.
She looks, I mean, maybe it's just the Amish,
she looks excited.
it's the Puritan, pilgrim collar going on here. But she looks like she would lie about you to get you burnt at the stake in Salem. Keep playing the video, though. I want to see the rest
from
of this.
the wedding. And they were going through the photos on their phone, swiping through the...
Why is she paying this much attention to something that's got nothing to do with her?
Okay, a man who's alone at brunch would be thinking about the Roman Empire. A woman who is alone at brunch would be eavesdropping on other women's conversations, to answer your question.
And of the bridesmaids...
That's a fantastic answer. Thank you for that.
The bride for the first time in her dress and all dolled up. And they were zooming in on each one of their 3 faces, talking about how fake of a face they had to put on for this and how they had to be like star-studded actresses on this day. One of them even said that she should try out for the West End because of how she was acting on that day, trying to pretend she was happy for her friend. When I tell you, if I were that friend and I knew that these girls were talking about me like this, I would throw myself into traffic. It was so incredibly harsh, and I'm probably not even relaying how harsh it was, like their facial expressions and everything. It was so dark-sided. Anyway, if you just got married and your color scheme was like blush, and you have 2 blonde friends with short bobs, and you have a brunette friend... Of
course they have bobs.
Don't be friends with them anymore.
Also, it's the slick, pulled back Tiffany Gomez bun that makes it for me. Also, the way she says, like, I would throw myself into traffic if this happened to me. By the way, I hope you know that this happened to you.
But Tiffany Gomez also posted a YouTube or an Instagram story recently about how she likes Halloween. So
that's so normie of her. Did
so
she talk
normie.
about pumpkin spice?
It's so No.
Did she talk about her favorite candles that she got from Home Goods?
I'm almost positive that it said hashtag spooky season, and I just about proposed right then and there. I would gladly hire allow her to have her evil bridezilla bridesmaids to come to our wedding.
She would be such a bridezilla, though. She seriously would.
I'm sorry. When I think of what were we looking at earlier? We were looking at the story of Robert Downey Jr. saying how women should run the world, and then what was the other one we were talking about earlier?
Pedro Pascal saying that women should kick the world's ass and use their rage to fix all of the world's problems.
I'm going to let you know right now that the evil women can perpetrate on the world is a whole different a whole different type of psychological evil that a lot of men just would never be capable of. It's not in their DNA.
I love women and I love gossiping as a woman myself. I just don't think that it always belongs on a public platform where millions of people are gonna go flock to harass someone and ruin their life and dox them.
A lot of times, I will talk to friends and I'll be oh, I did this. I'm like, is it your business? Do you need to share this with this person? Do they need to know? And it's just one of those things.
I've known guys who are into gossiping, and it's a very feminine trait.
It is. It's like one of the joys of being a guy is to just not care about that. I'm sure people say perfectly awful things about me, and I just don't care.
Okay, you know how they say there are levels of conversation. So you can talk about things, that's the lowest tier, then people, then events, and then ideas.
I thought people was the... Is it things,
Things
people?
Is lowest, then people, then events, and then ideas. But I thought that line of thinking was a little bit anti-woman, because as a woman myself, there's nothing we love talking about more than people and interpersonal dynamics.
It's actually one of the things me and you go back and forth on, right? Because we always have this thing where the stuff that when Mary's when you were on whatever, right? A lot of the stuff that I chose to cover ended up being about ideas or specific stories, and then I care, I tend to find my interest goes to what does it mean for this industry or this, and you're more fascinated by how human beings interact with each other, how people are involved in each other's lives, and I'm always just unless I was there to see it, I can't find myself to get excited because it ends up being a form of speculation, which doesn't make it any less valid of a conversation. But I have a hard time now. If we're talking about,
why do you think the drama between Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner went viral, or anything about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
And I find myself
it's what we don't know about it that people find so interesting.
But none of my interest in that ever went back to like, I could give a crap less about their relationship. I found the media's desire to make it front and center a unique statement on both her marketability as a celebrity, but also how companies or how corporations or businesses like the NFL expand their market share by dipping into other industries. It also says a lot about her level of fame right now in the culture. But none of that has me thinking like, I wonder if they drink red or white wine. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm sure she's perfectly I'm sure, like, she's as normie as a normie can be for a gazillionaire. Right? Sure. Like, I'm sure, like, I'm sure she, too, stirs her pumpkin spice latte clockwise. Like, right? Like, I don't know.
Wait, is this a thing
I have
that
no
people
idea.
talk about?
I remember when somebody's saying like
you stir your latte clockwise.
I just remember somebody saying like, I'm sure. I remember like a really funny phrase. Somebody said like, I'm sure they put their earbuds in one at a time, just like the rest of us. It was like a modern day version of like you put your shoes on one at a time, just like the rest of us. So I'm sure they put their earbuds
your
in.
AirPods.
I am sure that Mr. Beast puts his AirPods in
unison.
I just shove them in my ears, right?
Okay.
It is interesting like that. Those are inherent differences that I think a lot of like leftist culture today would try to pretend don't exist, right? Women are more interested in specific things and men are more interested in specific things. I may not care a ton about the Roman Empire, but I would definitely not be thinking about what this poor lady was going through at her wedding beyond just saying, wow, those are some petty bitches over there. That's what I would think. And that's about all I would be able to muster in a situation like that. I just wouldn't. But I guess that's
That's good for you.
Men and women are different. We're different. All right. Let's go to Super Chat, shall we?
Okay. Pablo Chalaki, don't know if I said that name right, sent us a sticker.
Also, I wanted to point out, guys, like somebody pointed out the other day, they're like, I like it when Pop Culture Crisis goes long because they're just having fun. Guys, Pop Culture Crisis goes long or short depending on whether you guys are having fun, because we do the same amount roughly of topics every day, but when people get involved in the show, when people are sending super chats, the show goes longer. So part of it is like it's like depending on what people say. I'm happy to stay here as long as people want to do that, but also if we're done, we're done. So it is what it is. Now people are like arguing about, like, I think I said people
arguing
are
about
like how do you stir your coffee? And then people, I imagine people who drink.
I was trying to envision it, and I was like, I don't drink lattes.
People who drink black coffee are like, I don't stir shit.
Yeah.
Like, I drink black coffee. Okay.
With the grounds in it.
Yeah, I basically just eat the grounds.
It's crunchy. Kai said it's just a prank. Boom. Don't feel a bit
sorry.
A bit sorry. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that is the F around and find out mentality.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, let Brett cook. It's nourishing. LOL, there's a special circle of hell for prank YouTubers, and I hope it smells of rotten eggs and BO.
Look, also, I want to go back to the word nourishing to me. The word nourishing to me is like moist for some people. I
think you just don't like it because people who post
always
their
attached.
meals.
It's always attached to some infographic phrase that some Hobby Lobby loving woman will post about nourishing the soul, and I will get a migraine from rolling my eyes.
Work hard, play harder.
Is
it like that?
Eat food that nourishes you. Like
food is fuel.
Yeah, like I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Meanwhile, I'm at Sheetz at like midnight. Like, yeah, dude.
I went to Sheetz.
Food is fuel.
I went to Sheetz at like 11 last night.
I had Sheetz fried garbage and a McDonald's breakfast in the same day. Yes.
And we don't give a crap.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'm nourishing my body.
If I want to be fat, I want to be fat. Okay, It's fine.
Kai said, "Love and peace. Don't forget rock and rebel yells."
Yes.
Shane H. Wilder said, Death Wedgie sounds like a high school cover band. There is a reason you should never flush a toilet on a plane while sitting on it. There are documented cases of them pulling people's intestines out? What?
I was so much happier 2 minutes ago before I knew that.
This is like when you learn that dolphins rape people. Like
yes, yeah.
Can't unlearn that info.
I've never used. The only time I've ever used a bathroom on a plane was like on the way to Europe when you literally just can't get around
it's
it
like
because it was longer because we had to go around like volcanoes that were erupting at that time.
Just dodging the lava.
Like, yeah. And I just remember, like, I was like, I've told that story before. Like, where on that trip, I was literally so just gone on drugs that I don't remember it really all that well, other than watching like TV because they have like TVs and like. But like, I've never used a bathroom on a flight.
Did you ever have Snapchat at the time that you were on drugs?
No, Snapchat was not a thing. Luckily,
it was a thing, but like I guess you just didn't use it.
Like I was in 2012, it was a thing.
Yeah.
2013 is it? No, I didn't use it. I had a Snapchat, but I didn't use it.
I was just wondering if you like ever had like archived Snapchat things that you don't remember taking.
I was pretty good about like look, this is
not using your phone.
Like or just but just like look. If the whole point of social media is to highlight only your best moments, why would you specifically go to highlight your worst moments? Also, my social media has almost been always exclusively skating content, so I was never hurting for ideas about what to post. Like, it would have been so out of context to see me post anything that wasn't skating.
Yeah.
It would be weird anyways. So, yeah, no thank you.
Shane H. Wilder said, I disagree, Mary. No man would be alone at brunch. Who drinks mimosas while thinking about the Roman Empire? That's a job for cigar and bourbon.
Maybe the idea is that, like, maybe if your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other went to the bathroom and you
start thinking about the Roman Empire.
And you're just sitting there, like, anything to block out these insufferable women just being awful to their friend. But, like, look, those women, like, I imagine, and I don't mean to be rude to you ladies, but I imagine that type of story is not all that uncommon, right? We're just petty. Maybe like is it because the woman just didn't pick good bridesmaids? Maybe she's got like one really close friend, and the rest of the women she just needed women to be in the.
I would not invite women to be my bridesmaids if I wasn't actually friends with them. Yeah. Like that's weird.
I feel bad for the lady, but also not my business is a superpower that I'm very proud to like. Just not my business. Nope. Not my business.
Shane H. Wilder said, Brett, are you not entertained?
I am very much entertained.
Dr. Larsina said, Mary, no one was burned at Salem. Executions were by hanging. Yes, I know.
Wait, is that like a misnomer? Like,
yeah, a lot of people think that witches were burnt at the stake in the Middle Ages, not at Salem.
Okay. Well, okay, so we were wrong about that one. That's
I knew that, but I just wanted to say something more extreme.
Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense. It's crazy that all those stories about there was also the we could have told them about the stories about the people with their most ridiculous interactions with celebrities.
I feel like I want to save that for tomorrow.
You want to like do a thing about that?
Because at the time we saw this viral post that says like, what are your favorite encounters with celebrities? Yeah. Sound off. And I was like, wait, why can't we focus on the negative stories? Like, why does it have to be the positive ones? So someone did that.
Back in the day, that would have been the more common thing, right? It's like, now everyone's looking for the pro-celebrity propaganda where they're like, oh my God.
Or just like a weird, awkward one.
Yeah.
Like, just anything not positive.
Like, there are some of the positive ones that I absolutely believe are weird fan fiction propaganda. There's this one where a guy's like... I can't remember if it was like Ludacris. It's like Ludacris ordered something at a restaurant and he gave it to him and I guess it wasn't very good and he sent it back and the guy like made him a new one and apologized and whatever it was and Ludacris goes, oh, those can be tricky sometimes. Like it doesn't sound like a real thing.
What was it, a burger?
No, it wasn't. It was something else.
What if it was like a bowl of cereal?
It was something. It was like I wonder if it was Ludacris.
So that's supposed to make Ludacris like look really good.
Yeah, like it's supposed to make him look like really, really relatable. Right? It was. I think it was like a coffee shop or something like that. It was really funny.
They did his pumpkin spice latte wrong.
Instagram is always full of like infographics. It's like, I think about this 5 times a day, and it's like some made up story about an interaction with a celebrity. The only ones I believe are the ones about Keanu Reeves, and that's just because I'm willing to be propagandized. I will assume that everything said about Keanu Reeves that's positive is real without question because I'm willing to be propagandized by it.
At least you realize it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. With most cases with those things, I'm willing to admit that my bias is like on full display with that celebrity because I wanted to confirm.
I'm more annoyed at people posting those things on Reddit than I am ever annoyed at Keanu Reeves.
Like if somebody says something, Mark Ruffalo did something nice, I'm willing to believe you're lying.
Yeah. No.
But if somebody tells me Keanu Reeves did something nice, I'm willing to believe that you're telling the truth. It's just that's my bias. And
we're gonna talk about fucked up evil encounters with celebrities.
We should make it about and after every one we read, we should make it about like, do we believe this one or not?
But Ian should be on with us.
That would be great.
Or someone who would have stories like that.
Yeah. There's one more there from Shane H. Wilder.
Hasn't shown up for me.
It says Giles Corey was crushed with stones for witchcraft in Salem also.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The weird thing about that is they believed you were a witch if you couldn't recite the Lord's Prayer, and they still were able to recite it, and they were like, "You're a witch anyway." Like,
I mean, I once it was like I imagine that many people who have gone and had to take a drunk driving test said the same thing. Like, just because I can't say the alphabet backwards doesn't mean I'm drunk. I just don't know how to do the alphabet backwards. I'm sorry, right? Like, it's the same thing. Like, my dad used to make fun of me because he'd be like I could very rarely walk upstairs without tripping. I'm much like Joe Biden that way. In the past, I'd try to run upstairs too quickly and I'd trip. My dad's like, you can grind down 25 stair handrails, land backwards without a problem, but walking upstairs is a problem for you. Yes, it is. It's a problem for me. I can't help it.
By the way, I wanted to mention that over the weekend, I was at a Catholic rager. I just wanted to see your reaction. Sorry.
So that's a thing?
Yeah.
What I'm still reeling on Catholic lo-fi, so you're gonna have to tell me what the hell a Catholic rager is.
I won't get into all the details of like, you know, who was there, what was actually going on, but it was a big event with a lot of people there, and these guys like did stunts for us. Like they were
in the name of the Lord.
They were like juggling, and one of them was on a unicycle, and then they did like fire tricks, and then at one point they got into a circle, and then it was like one on each other's shoulders in a circle, and then they started juggling like flaming knives. It was crazy.
It reminds me of Extreme Mormons on Instagram, which is one of my favorite.
Extreme Mormons.
It's
you showed me this.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
I remember.
So it's this guy who's like, I'm gonna do this. They're deadpan, wearing black pants in a short sleeve, button up white shirt with a black tie. And they says like, I am going to do this extreme stunt in the name of the Lord. And it's all like, at first I used to think that it was like,
it just sucks when you have the one take where you mess it up after saying that.
Yeah, it's incredible. I recommend it's really funny because they do more than one extreme sport. So there was one when they finally did like rollerblades, and I got really excited and reposted it and was like, finally somebody from Extreme Mormons put on skates, and they like responded to my post and just said, interesting. That's all they said. Interesting. Like I couldn't tell if they thought I was maybe kidding or something like that, but I was just I'm a memer.
That's a little bit passive aggressive though.
That's what it felt like to me. I was like, look, it's not going to ruin my love for this Instagram page. It's not. I will not let it. Yeah. But it's like Brother Jebediah. Like they give them the most like stereotypical names. It's like Brother Matthew.
Sounds like satire.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I recommend everyone go check out Extreme Mormons on Instagram. All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video? Would you subscribe to this channel? If you have not done so already, do so. Turn the notification bell on. Share these videos with your friends so that y'all can come and hang out during these episodes. We are here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on Twitter that is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. And if you want to follow me, guys, you can follow me on Twix and Instagram at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. We are here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. And if you'd like to listen to the audio version of this podcast, I am going to end the poll. Don't worry, guys. I'm not even looking, but I know that somebody's going to ask me to end the poll. I pinned a comment from somebody saying it was their first time watching live today. They mostly listen on the audio version when they're at work. Thank you so much, Mixed Gaming, for tuning in live today. Thank you much for that. I'm ending the poll live here, guys. It is with 89%. They say yes. Okay. It is justified to act in self-defense.
If only we had been
against
the jury.
Pranked YouTubers. Yep. Yeah. All right, guys. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon Pacific, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Pandora, and Spotify if you'd like to listen to this podcast. And if you'd like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at @popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. I'd like to ask you, if you're not going to go see The Creator, go and check out my review for it. Maybe it can encourage you to go do so. It's up on YouTube right now. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then, guys.
Bye.
Bye.